The following presentation is brought to you by the Pride of ODU, the official NIL collective of Old Dominion Athletics. Be a monarchist. Join the Pride.
Go again. Sorry,
no. Just like from the progression of camp, week one of camp until now. I mean, how does the team look?
No, I think throughout the time you're making progression. It's a little bit different because you're also adding stuff to their plate, right? I mean, so early on it's a lot of base offense, base defense, and then you get into significantly more blitz, you get into significantly more or different fronts, and things like that. So yes, you're making progress the whole time, but sometimes it's hard for maybe the kids to even see their progress because they're getting different looks, different installs all the time. But as a coach, you can see it. You can see guys start to do the techniques and fundamentals better. You can see them starting to play faster. You can start to see them do the little things that you need them to do. I think where you really can see the progression is on special teams, and I think we've made some huge strides there.
What is the next step of Colton's quarterback progression?
I think one thing he's done a really nice job of is just understand where to go with the football when things aren't great, and he's found his check downs or his second progression really well. He's also done a nice job with directing the protection and understanding what I need to do and seeing some little tells and things like that pre-snap. So I like where he's at right now.
This is starter.
Yeah.
That was my question.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, Colton started. He's one of our captains. We got 5 captains: Colton Joseph, Zach Barlev, Chris Trinidad, Jeremy Mack, and Koa are our 5 captains. And so we're excited to have those guys, and I'm excited that those are 5 really good leaders.
To what degree, Coach, is this a make or break year for you?
I mean, I think every year is a make or break year. I mean, I don't ever go into a year and think like, well, if we stink this year, everything's going to be fine. And I never think to myself, if we're great this year, my whole life's going to be satisfied. I mean, that's not how any football coach goes into it. That's not how any competitor goes into it. I mean, every year I go into is make or break.
Piggybacking off. Oh, go ahead, David.
You mentioned Zach. He's part of a very experienced offensive line. You led the Sun Belt in rushing last season, but you have a lot of turnover in the running back room. Are you optimistic that you can be as effective on the ground?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the reality of it is we had a lot of turnover in running back the year before too, right? So none of those guys had a whole lot of carries, and we were able to get all that production out of them. So, I think the experience returning the offensive line is going to be critical. Having Coach Huddle back, our offensive line coach, is critical. Having the same play caller and those sort of things, that stuff's critical. So I think, I'm expecting those guys to be one of the key components, if not, the heart and soul of our team is the offensive and defensive line.
Was that rushing attack, Ricky, the primary reason you guys led the nation in red zone offense efficiency?
Yeah, and that's always a little funny, because as a football coach, all I can think about is the times we didn't score in the red zone. And those sort of things. So that's the nature of the beast. But yeah, you got to be able to run the ball, and you got to be able to throw it, which I think we did. If you look back on it, there's a lot of play action pass and things like that we were able to get done. One of the things we're going to have to replace is the red zone production from Pat Conroy, and I think that having that group as tight ends as a whole is going to allow us to do that.
Have you changed anything in terms of coaching style or anything you do with your routine just to try to kind of take the next step as a program?
I mean, I think you adjust every year. Every team is different. Every player is different. I mean, I'm not going to – every team requires a different message. So, yeah, I mean, I think I'm changing all the time. But ultimately, I'm going to try to be myself as much as possible. That's kind of my core belief, is just to be genuine and that sort of thing. But, yeah, you're going to make adjustments all the time. I think that's part of growing. If I didn't – if I'm not getting better and I'm not progressing, it's hard for me to ask them to.
Coach, 6 of your 7 losses last year were 8 or less, and you go back to 2023. The number of 1-score games has been insane.
Yep.
How do you take that next step and finish those games that don't go your way in those one-possession close ones?
Yeah, I mean, if there was one thing, we would have got it solved during the year, right? So unfortunately, it was a number of different factors, and it wasn't always finishing. I mean, some of those games we were coming back on a furious, and so we didn't start well. Right, and so that's part of the thing is, we got to play a 4-quarter game, and we got to be consistent. That's what we have to do in order to win those games. And we know in the Sun Belt, we're going to play a majority of those games are going to be, 1 score. I mean, I think over our last 2 years, we've played 16 conference games, and 14 of them have been by 1 score. So You know, now what I like to emphasize to the guys is those two that weren't by one score, we won both of those. So let's make sure we get more of those.
I think I know what you're going to say. But is it difficult not to get caught up in the idea of having a winning record at last?
I mean, you know what I'm going to say. I mean, we need to go 1-0 each and every week. And if I start to think about trying to get a winning record and all those sort of things, if anything, I'm limiting ourselves, right? I mean, so if we go and we get to 7-6 now, I'm supposed to be satisfied. I don't think that's a great message to our team either. I think we should be going to competing, trying to go 1-0 each week and compete for championships. And just getting a winning record isn't going to be enough.
How far along is the staff in Indiana?
Oh, pretty far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, you know, even if I tell them not to, they're competitors, right? They're going to look ahead, and I have too. And you know, I've watched a lot of Indiana. I'm sure Indiana's watched a lot of us, right? I mean, they've got great football coaches too, and I'm you know, obviously we have to finish camp. We got a night scrimmage tomorrow, and then we really get full bore into them. But you know, pretty soon it's going to be just all about our focus is going to be on them.
And a lot of familiarity with not only the head coach but also the coordinator.
Yeah, and some of the players too. You know, some of the players. I mean, a lot of those guys that we played against, and so you know, there will be a lot of there's a lot of ties to it, and you know, we've had some a couple good battles, so I think it'll be something that I'm excited to go out there and coach, and I know Indiana's a great place to play. I mean, I've been lucky enough to coach a couple games there, and that place is a lot louder than people give it credit for, and so you know, I know they got a great fan base, so looking forward to going out there.
With the continuity in staff and, you know, a lot of familiar faces back. I know for college football, you always integrate new players, but you know, with the continuity, are you guys further ahead? Do you feel you're further ahead now than you were at this point last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're further ahead just because we have a few older players, and I know they're bigger, faster, stronger, and they're a little bit smarter and things like that. So, yeah, I definitely feel like we're further ahead. You know, there's some areas we've got to get some familiarity between the players, and there's some, you know, maybe it's a little trust issue here or there. But overall, I definitely would say that, yeah, we are further along.
Have you ever coached a seventh-year player like Ryan Joyce before?
Oh, I mean, I guess I'd have to go through. Maybe we have. I don't think I have. I mean, he presents like a 13th-year player. I mean, he's so mature, and I just love talking ball with him. I mean, him and I had a football conversation for probably 20 minutes yesterday, and it was awesome. It was great to just be able to do that with a player.
How deep in the weeds were you guys?
Oh, we can go pretty deep. I try not to. Yeah, I try not to get too deep because obviously I can get real deep in the weeds and say, hey, they did this one time, but you don't want to cloud them up that way. But he'd obviously studied, and he was well ahead of where even I thought he was going to be in terms of his preparation.
We ask all football coaches at this time of year,
yeah,
whatever level, ideally, what does the identity of this team look like every Saturday?
I mean, fast, tough, and resilient. And I think that's what I want to see. And I think we've done that through camp, and we need to continue to do that.
You said each team has a different message, kind of along the lines of Craig's question. What's the message for this team?
Yeah, I'll keep that between us.
Fair enough.
I mean, you guys know me. I'm not. I appreciate everything that you guys do and the job that you do to help do those sort of things. But there's some things I got to keep within house to, you know, just because there's some trust issues there, and I want to make sure that I'm not doing something, and the kids don't think I'm doing something for social media clicks, that I'm doing it because it's most important to them.
How much optimism is there in general this time of year for any team?
I think there should be optimism for everybody. I mean, one, we get to have another year of college football, right? I mean, that's why my favorite part about right now is we don't have to talk about any of the issues that people think are in college football. We just get to talk about all the great stuff, you know? That's why, like, I wish that we would stop talking about the number of playoff teams and this and that and all those other things, and let's just talk about the great things that happen in college football. So the entire situation is optimism right now. So that's why that's why this is the best time of year.
How much in the offseason was winning the turnover battle part of the emphasis?
Yeah, well, it always is, right? But you know, the last 2 years we're 7-0 and we don't turn the ball over. And in the Sun Belt and just Sun Belt games, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but it's over 87%. If you win the turnover margin, then you win the game. So obviously those are things we're going to concentrate on both sides, taking the ball away and protecting it.
People aren't showing up here like they did 10 years ago, but they're still showing up.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you and the players?
Well, I would argue with you since we just set the attendance record. It's a bigger stadium than it used to be. So I think that maybe it doesn't come across that way, but the reality of it is we just set an attendance record last year. So people are still showing up, you know, and I appreciate that. I appreciate our student section showing up last year. I thought they were awesome. And, you know, I think it's one of those things that we're still going to do that. But, yeah, we got to continue to do our part and win and in order to really pack it. But we were, you know, almost 20,000 fans last year, which is pretty good. So we need to make sure to continue to pack it. And that's something that we got to, you know, we know that how we can handle that and take responsibility for that is making sure that we win, you know, and if we're also good citizens in the community, that's going to help as well.
Whether it's Indiana or whether it's South Carolina or whether it's Tech or whoever, UVA a couple years ago, how much do you relish these P4 opportunities and ODU playing on the stage?
Well, no, you just said it. That's the key. It's an opportunity, right? I mean, it's an unbelievable opportunity to go out there. You know that not everybody gets these. Not all group of 5 schools get an opportunity to play in these games. And so we get them, and so we need to take advantage of them. That it?
Eight the perfect number for playoff teams, or we want to see a Super
No, 28. They said 28. You like 28?
What do you think about NIL trends?
28.
No, the athletic. The athletic actually had the best thing. Just do what FCS is doing. Why
Yep.
not? The conference champions get in.
Well, the one thing I would tell you about the playoff system is that I do like. It does keep you guys talking about college football all year round, doesn't it? You know what I mean? So, like, that, ultimately, I think that's one of the things that the people who run college football are pretty darn smart. And so if they didn't think that we needed to talk about it more, we probably wouldn't. So, you know, I think that, you know, Commissioner Gill, our commissioner, guys like Commissioner Sankey, you know, they're going to make us continue to talk about college football all year round.
Right.
Thank you,
Thanks, Ricky.
All right,
Appreciate it.
thanks.
Appreciate you, man.